Test. Check. 1, 2.
Back in the day, we used to have to show up with our luggage. You know, now it's like 3 laptops, you know, a console, recording gear. You know, it's amazing.
Well, it's like I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 laptops. At audio front of house.
Yeah.
And when there's more laptops for the audio guys than there are for the lighting guys,
right.
it's
20
like
years ago, that makes us lighting guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, 20 years ago,
20 years ago, people were still using yellow pads, calling cards.
Yeah. It's definitely a whole new game.
Yeah. Hopefully LCDs don't cause cancer. We're all doomed.
We've gone from being sound guys to becoming network managers.
Yeah, in a lot of ways that is true. But it still comes down to being able to hear and being able to, you know, place the instrument where it belongs in the sound stage and making sure it sounds good in the room. It's I see too many, especially young guys who are mixing with their eyes.
Exactly,
and
especially on those other consoles that have all those plugins.
That's, you know
I've seen people get into all sorts of trouble.
I have too, and I've seen I've seen it across the board. I've seen people get in trouble on every console out there, but when you stop listening,
well, with the Digico, that was the first thing I did was started EQing, and I was looking at that little screen and like, I can't possibly do that. Let's start again.
With an EQ.
You know? Yeah, right.
No. That's got to be wrong. Look at it, you know, and not even listening. You know, and you got to get out of that.
Yeah.
Right.
It is a different, you know, to have a graphic display of what you think you might be doing is not real world.
It's not real world, and people stop. I saw a renowned horn band 6, 7, 8 months ago, and it was a young guy mixing, and the horns are buried. And he's
for a horn band.
For a horn band.
Sorry. You can strike that.
I'll strike that.
Good job. Yeah.
Edit here.
But but I sat there and the guy's like watching the console and he's looking at Smart and I'm like, dude, I can't hear the horns. What?
Yeah.
You know what's up with that?
You know, a lot of people have lost the ability to mix heads up. And I think the most successful engineers out there mix heads up because you've got to watch and see what's going on in order to know.
Exactly.
You know, oh, that guitar player's playing a lead. Maybe I got to push this fader up.
Right.
Instead of keeping my head down focused at the numbers and colors and displays.
I've seen a couple guys who mix heads down, but it's not on a board like this. It's either on an analog console. I saw a guy using the old show console who mixes heads down.
You need to mix heads down on one of those.
But, well, yeah, kind of.
With a rosary.
But he's been doing the same.
with some prayer beads.
but he's been doing the same act for 25 years.
Right.
I mean, he knows the show, and he knows when to push a guitar lead. He's been doing the same thing for forever. But that's great. I love that. You got to have heads down and prayer beads. That's as good as it gets.
It's very easy to fuck up guitar, bass, and drums. You know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do. And really, it's just. I mean, I try.
If your head
I
is
use
up
very
and you're
little
attentive.
EQ, very little compression, and very little effects.
Well,
and just get the balance of what's going on in the vibe.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I'll be on the bus. I'll be on the bus.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
It's not rocket science.
No.
Exactly. We were saying that on the way over here. It's not rocket science. Just go out and do what you do.
And the digital consoles just make everything easier, and that give us options to make stuff sound normal. To sound normal.
A Digico console, for me, like we were talking about finished product, when you run it through the desk and it goes to whatever IEM unit you're using, it's a finished product. And that, in the end of the day, saves you a lot of time because there's too many pages, plugins, knobs.
Yep.
What's it really doing? I don't know.
I had a guy tell me once, when I bought my board, I had to go and look at everything. I mean, you have to.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And so I put my hands on everything I could find in the digital realm, and I tried to have somebody explain to me why this board was better with any well, the plugins, you know, and I said, well, yeah, that's really cool. What do you use them for? And he goes, what difference does it make? I'm like, what? He goes, look at this, just look at it, you know, and it was great. There was this going this way, this was going up and down.
Tons
I'm
of
like,
latency.
that's the coolest thing I've ever seen, you know. And I go, what do you have that on? He goes, I have no idea, but you know, I'm telling you. And I, you know, I mean, I'm all for like the weird stuff.
Oh, sure.
And I think it's great. And I think that plugins are cool in the sense that somebody can develop something really bizarre and put it out on the market without putting it in a box because it costs so much money to design it into a piece of hardware. But outside of that, for the meat and potatoes making something good, you really don't need that particular thing.
No.
I think some of the Crane song for overall stuff, but then again, they've got a box. And,
right, they've got a box you can use.
And any time that you don't have to boot something up, you just turn it on.
And you turn it on and it works.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. And we don't have to worry about it crashing.
Right.
Yes.
Have you ever had one of the Digicos go down?
I had one go down the other day. It was the weirdest thing.
I haven't had one go down on me for a long time.
For a long time?
A long time.
Mine acted weird at the beginning, but that was because
it was getting used to you.
It was getting used to the new user.
Yeah.
The
only time Digico products have gone down on me, it's been operator error.
Okay.
And then I go, oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to do that.
Sorry guys, it was me.
You know, in the end, they're all computers.
When you get down to it, it is. They're all computers.
The dreaded blue screen will show its face. I had one time on a Digico, and we were, of course, in Brazil, nowhere near any kind of, you know, the power supply plug for the main section of the board failed. The plug, it was like a little Molex plug.
Right.
So right in the middle of the show, all the faders went down to nothing. And then when you try to push them back up, they right back down. And I was thinking either something's wrong, or this is the board trying to tell me that the mix sucks and it's not going to have it anymore, and you know we're out. And I'm pushing them back up, and they're coming right back down, and I'm you know, fader flip, boom, we're up here now. Greg Jafria mode.
Right.
And
that was good.
But that was terrifying. I mean, dude,
you just dated yourself.
I'm just trying to hold them up and snap right back down. No, the audio didn't change. You know,
right,
so,
because the audio continues to pass, you just can't make any changes. Right.
But yeah, that wouldn't happen on a XL3.
Yeah, right.
You know, unless somebody was doing it with a stick.
Right.
I had gunfire one night during a show a long time ago, and it was actually a part of a song where the video had bombers coming over and there were bombs dropping. There was a big crescendo to the song, and the console just decided to go. I thought I better very coolly went round the back and pressed the reset button, coolly went and sat back down, popped all up again. I carried on mixing. And as the audience were leaving, and it was in a theatre, they were walking right by, you know, up the aisle past me. Great effects in that song. That was unbelievable.
You'd get that welder thing. What is that?
Yeah, it was on purpose.
They loved it.